consider a future with electric cars, resources on Earth are being taken, and people on it and habitats are being destroyed. Gases every day are being expelled into our atmosphere, and it's causing a big problem. On top of that, all the non-renewable resources we have are going to run out at some point. And things like sunlight are available to us for cars, and we're starting to harvest that now for vehicles to get us around. But how can we harvest these renewable resources with the smallest impact on Earth? Will it change anything? But the need for change is there, and it is available to us. EPA reported on their website of EPA.org that they did a survey, and on a mid-sized family car driven 12,500 miles over the year, over 575 pounds of carbon monoxide were expelled from that one car, and over 11,400 pounds of carbon dioxide were expelled over that car. That's just two of among 6 gases that were registered off of that car, which has, according to research done by National Geographic, has caused a 20% increase in greenhouse gases since 1990. Although renewable resources are a great long-term solution for everything like that, they do have their problems, as the manufacturers of the cars and everything do use coal, gas, stuff like that. So they do emit something from them as far as the manufacturing, but in the long term, the amount that is released is a lot less, and they are working in that. Ultimately, we're not going to have a natural world anymore, so we need to make some changes. And if it's out there if we look, and change that will change the course of tomorrow. Ideas for solar-powered charging stations are already on the road, and they are in mass production for companies and for businesses alike. The biggest problem between consumers and car dealers are the fact that the cost is too high, and people are concerned about getting from point A to point B without running out of power. ElectricDrive.org has an article on it talking about Siemens and how they developed a new VersaCharge device. And there's 2 types: a quick charge, which is a 30-minute charge up for your car, and a long term, which is usually an overnight. They are in production as of this year and will be available through the end of this year, and the fast charge at the beginning of next year. According to Pike's research on good.is, companies out there, the most well-known company to start producing charging stations is Cracker Barrel Restaurant. So getting across from coast to coast, there's always a Cracker Barrel out there, so you're always going to have a place to go, as well as 110,000 gas stations across the country right now. By 2015, they report over 4.7 million charging stations available within the U.S. alone, and that's including the million that are already out there as of today. Other concerns among drivers and manufacturers, the biggest ones on doing research was the extended range of the vehicles, the infrastructure to be able to keep this going. And production is slow, but it is available out there. Most obvious changes to some of the problems are out there are obviously going to be reduced greenhouse gases and emissions out there. But the other one, as I said, talking about inhabitants being destroyed, is there is a study going on with the University of Michigan and the EPA.gov, which now has linked big cities and housing developments near streets to asthma attacks for children and those that are susceptible about it. So not only are we helping Earth, but we're going to help medically try to make people better and try to reverse the problem that's causing widespread issues with children and older people generally like that. So without a world of going to Los Angeles and seeing a brown, yellow sky, even here in Florida, I'm starting to see it now as we go out there. This can change, but it starts with us. So with quick charging stations of 30 minutes or less to charge your car up to go a couple hundred miles, that is now available. Driving coast to coast is not a problem, and saving the environment is possible. Becoming healthier is possible, but we need to change from a short-term society and look at the long-term effects for a big cost up front, but we can make a better difference with some of these facts. So I challenge you to go find an electric car event and drive one. We have, and we drove a Leaf, and it was same pickup as my V6 Ford Taurus, 0 emissions, 0 oil, nothing is being seeped into the ground, nothing is being shot up into the sky. A good website to start out is afdc.energy.gov for good research. That's a good starting point. It can lead you in many directions. So with a show of hands, who will consider an electric car in the future? Thanks.